After 10 years of relentless battle, the Trojan War ends with the cunning ruse of the wooden horse. Troy is destroyed, and its heroes fall one by one. Hector, Trojan prince and defender of the city, is slain by Achilles, who drags his body around Troy's walls. Hector's wife, Andromache, is taken captive with her young son, Astyanax, as the Greeks divide the spoils of war. Pyrrhus, the son of Achilles, claims Andromache as his prize, despite his unreciprocated love for her. In the palace of Pyrrhus, in Epirus, the destinies of Troy's survivors and Greek heroes intertwine. Captive, Andromache wanders through the palace halls. The weight of her grief and the memory of Troy's fall press heavily on her shoulders. Each step is a struggle between her love for her late husband and the need to protect her son, Astyanax. Torn between loyalty and survival, she stands at a crossroads, a heart-wrenching decision looming over her. Orestes, son of Agamemnon and messenger of the Greeks, arrives at Pyrrhus's palace. Driven by a terrifying mission, he demands the death of Astyanax, the heir to Troy. Yet in his heart, another desire burns, his desperate love for Hermione, Pyrrhus's fiancée. Vengeance and love intertwine, leading him toward a tragic fate. In all his glory and pride, though betrothed to her, Pyrrhus deliberately provokes Hermione jealousy, declaring his intent to choose Andromache, the Trojan captive. Hermione, devastated by Pyrrhus's betrayal, turns to Orestes, her soul consumed by anger and humiliation. Her heart, torn between love and hate, burns with a desire for revenge. She is willing to do anything to make Pyrrhus pay for the insult he has inflicted. Andromache, devastated by the prospect of losing her son, kneels before Pyrrhus, pleading for his mercy. The memories of her late husband Hector haunt her, but the love for her son, Astyanax, is stronger than anything. She is willing to sacrifice everything, even her honor, to save him. Orestes, tasked with avenging Hermione's betrayal, becomes the instigator of her revenge. In the shadows, he awakens in her the thirst for retribution against Pyrrhus. The desire for justice burns within her. Faced with Pyrrhus's ultimatum, Andromache makes the heartbreaking decision to sacrifice herself to save her son. Her heart breaks, but maternal love outweighs honor. She accepts the forced marriage, her soul shattered by the pain of renouncing her past, her dignity, but resolute in protecting Astyanax's future. Sacrifice becomes her only path. Consumed by rage and humiliation, Hermione makes an irreversible decision. Her voice trembles with cold fury as she commands Orestes to kill Pyrrhus. Love no longer drives her actions, but a searing vengeance. Within the palace walls, fury erupts. Pyrrhus, proud and invincible, falls by the hands of his own subjects, betrayed by their rage. Blood stains the white marble, turning the palace into a theater of vengeance. The fallen king collapses, and with his final breath, order shatters, consumed by the blind violence of a cruel fate. Hermione, consumed by the weight of her choices, stands before Pyrrhus's lifeless body. The rage that once fueled her fades, replaced by an unbearable sorrow. Devastated by remorse, she collapses, a dagger in hand. In a final act of despair, she chooses to join the one she condemned to death, sealing the tragic fate of these cursed lovers. Orestes, alone in the abandoned palace, is haunted by the specters of his deeds. Hermione's voice still echoes, and Pyrrhus's blood stains his soul, Consumed by guilt, he descends into madness. The echoes of his vengeance, far from freeing him, bind him to eternal suffering. From the ashes of tragedy, Andromache rises victorious. Once a humiliated captive, she becomes queen of Epirus, leading her son Astyanax toward a future she safeguarded at the cost of her own sacrifice. Fate, cruel to so many, grants her at last justice and greatness. At the heart of tragedy, Andromache unveils the torments of love, vengeance, and power. Between human passions and insurmountable dilemmas, Racine immortalizes characters torn apart by their choices and desires. Through them, he probes the human soul and its contradictions. Far from being confined to antiquity, this story resonates timelessly, speaking to every age and every heart. As Racine's legacy, it reminds us that the greatness and frailty of heroes and of humanity lie in their relentless pursuit of love and justice, often at the cost of their own ruin.